good night, everyone. Finally, we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a rough evening, a rough night. And so, what a late start we have. I have to continue to do this, but I have serious technical difficulties earlier. Just now, a matter of fact, it was sorted out. And so, I decided to, regardless of the issue, I must come on here tonight. I must get in my few words on what's happening. Latest development, I will say, in our education sector. And I say latest development, not because some of what is seems to be a negative issue, but it's issue that we must take a look at, ladies and gentlemen. So let me welcome you again to this another episode of the Saudi Press Show. Tonight, of course, is Wednesday night, and we will be seriously looking at educational content. I must say to you, if this is your first time, thank you for joining and continue to join the Saudi Press Show. All right? Remember, please leave a like. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the content with your colleagues, friends, and families. Of course, this is the Saudi Press Show, as I've continued to say, and I will repeat myself one and over because this is not a regular YouTube show. This is just not a podcast, but one that brings you sports, entertainment, and education. Factual information, information that you deserve to know. You must gain this knowledge. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, somehow, I think I've got the timing wrong. Yes, it was stated that I should come on at 9:50. However, the truth of the matter, it should have been 8:50. These are some technical issues that I was battling with over and over again. And so I am so much happy that I'm here. So good night. Good night, Devoni. Thank you very much, Chambers, to be here. And Lorraine Thompson. Again, a pleasant night to you. Sorry about that. Again, I also have a little bit of the flu. So you may hear my voice differently. And so I'm trying to cope. But ladies and gentlemen, we want to look seriously on teacher migration tonight. Teacher migration over the past couple of years has been a talk of, not just a talk of the town, but a talk across Jamaica, a talk across the United States, and a talk across the United Kingdom. More so, let me not limit it to these countries, but a talk over the world. It's a global issue. But here in Jamaica, we have been suffering with this teacher migration over the past 3 years. And so, just to top in, on what has exposed to the Jamaican people recently, a bit of news from the minister, the Honorable Favor Williams, was giving us some data of the amount of teachers who have resigned. And this data seems to capture over a period January to present, or January to June. Now, people, if you notice I'm solo tonight, there's no guests. So you are all my guests. I want your full participation and I want your guidance. Because tonight I'm not even full aware of these numbers. Tonight, I'm sure that many of you would have had a different perspective on the numbers. But I think the minister has said that to date, January to June, there are 287 teachers who have migrated. Oh, sorry, let me change that around. That's a slip of the tongue. Have resigned. 287. But what is interesting as well, and I hope that is the case. I'm speaking so many voices tonight, but I hope that is in case. There's a 42% decline from the same period last year compared to now. All right, Devon. Well, I don't think she has got the correct figure. They love to want to look good, so they say the truth. No, no, no. This is serious. I there is some agreement. I agree with you. I'm in agreement because the more so agreement, what I'm agreeing with you, therefore, is the fact that they have not got the right numbers. I don't think all the resignations have reached the minister's desk yet. And I will not really say that there are many to come. Eh? There's a lot more to come. Yes, I surely believe that there are a number of resignations to come. But those who have already sent in their resignation, I am not sure that those numbers have reached her. If this is anything to go by, if this is a good number that the Ministry of Education can live with, 287 teachers already resigned. The question I want to ask as well is the status of our education system being the factor of these resignations? That's a question that needed to be answered. But let's look back at what the minister said. If we are to go by 287 resignation, is this a fair number? Is this a good number in the fact that this will not affect our system? It will not affect the teaching and learning. Talk to me, people. Is it a situation that we can live with? 287. That's the question. But because we are just in the first week of July, Devon, you're saying to me, a lot of your teachers are going, but their resignation is not yet in. I strongly believe that. Yes, that is so. That is quite true. But let's leave those who have not yet submitted their resignation, Devon. Let's leave that for a little while. But can we live comfortably? Will we be able to survive comfortably losing 287 teachers? Let me tell you something. You see, the fact that we are looking at those teachers who are presently in the system, but this is something that I want to get onto later, and I'm going to suggest it now. There are a number of teachers who have just graduated or leaving college, already gone. Many of those teachers have gone on the work and study program. Unfortunately, many of them have no plans to return. For those of them as well, those teachers who have gone on the work and study program, and I call them teachers because they have left teachers' college. They are teachers, regardless of how we want to look at it. It's not a situation that they don't want to return, but they are looking at what is happening now. And I must say this to you, Jamaica. What I am saying now as it relates to the teachers leaving teachers' colleges now, this month and next month. Let's not be too serious. Let's take a step backwards. Do not think highly that because so many of your teachers, Devon, will be leaving, that you will end up with some inexperienced teachers. What I will say to Minister, what I will say to Jamaica, even the inexperienced teachers are going. Ah, This is not a very good thing to laugh about. Laugh because there's tension. There's a tension right across our education sector right now. There's a tension right across the world. We're not the only country suffering from this thing. I'm sure. Because if the mighty USA, if they weren't suffering, if they weren't having these issues, I can tell you, our teachers maybe will have to stay, would have run short of, what kind of words for failure. But it's true. If the US never had teacher issues, we will have to find different options. Where will our teachers go? But let's not look at the US because they have to deal with their own problem. Let us look at our issue. Let us look at the issues that are facing Jamaica. And the sad part about these resignation issues, the very sad part. And Devonia and Lorraine, you're active here. I want you to assist me. Really and truly, I need you to assist me. The assistance that I want from you tonight. Do you believe that there are teachers resigning in the month of March, April, and May? Where in the world, where in the world would these teachers go during March, April, and May? Which which education system, which country would be employing teachers March, April, and May? Just ask. Just ask. Again, really and truly, do you believe that the teachers who are leaving here in July and August would have sent in their resignation from May? Devon, you said yes. So teachers who have been resigning, those who have sent in resignation during those months, from your experience and what you know, Devon, are these resignations being, what did I say now, effective May, June, or February, May, March, April, May? Wouldn't the teachers put their effective date August 31st? And that is the reason why many of these resignations have not yet come out. The teachers are using at least 1 month to hold their resignation. So as you mentioned yesterday, the question now, are these resignations effective at the end of such month that they submitted? That is the question. Hold on a sec. Sorry about that. All right, Devoni, so you're back now. I have teachers leaving May, but no resignation is submitted. Wow. So they have not submitted a resignation. They have not resigned. That means they have walked off the job. And let me know. Interesting. My God. Teachers leave in May without resigning. All right. So this is very, very good news, I will say, to prompt a conversation. Not good news for you, Devoni, I'm sure. But Devoni, how did you manage that situation? Were you able to get a teacher to fill that gap? Devoni is saying, is yesterday a friend shows me her England visa and her resignation is not yet in. Well, I understand that. Yes, I do understand. And I'm saying I suspect that all these resignations would have taken effect August 31. So they have yet to submit it. And they will not submit a resignation until they have gotten their visa in their hand. And, at least gone to the embassy and got the okay. They are the approval. So I clear. I don't even know what to say. But your friend show you that, boy, they've only missed a reference. He's like, you're going to lose all your teachers and your friend or your friends. I'm telling you, I'm sorry to say that, but it's what it seems like. It's what it seems like. But let's look at the other part of the story now, people. Let's look at the part of the story. One of the things that I recognize, one of the things that I recognize, it's not just the US people are going. The teachers are going to the United Kingdom, they're going to the Middle East. Yes. And they're flooding the USA. You have teachers milking the system. Wow. What is the devil? Teachers are milking the system. That's a strong word. What do you mean by that, though? I wonder if you could come on this show and sit with me tonight. Let us co-host this show. Devil. Do you have an interest to come on the show? Help to show the people what's happening. Help me. Yes, because one look at me and asking me if I am not going. Therefore, you know what? I'm gonna send the link in the chat. Please advance if you could just join me right here to have a discussion. Just if you have a discussion. But Devoni, I really don't want to get personal in this whole matter of teacher migration or resignation. What I want to know though, based on the number of teachers, okay, no problem. No problem, Devoni. No problem. I'm happy with you where you are. But the minister or the Ministry of Education does not seem to be so much alarmed about these resignations. And I've listened a part of the interview from the minister. And there's a section that she alluded to the fact that this year, 2,000 and 2,300 teachers have given vacation leave. So from our 25,000 plus teachers in Jamaica, in the public sector, yes, 2,300 of us will be going on vacation leave starting September. So some will be going September and some will be going January. But the point I'm making is that I don't know why the minister talk about those who are going on leave. Unless she have picked up that some of the teachers going on leave will also resign. I wonder if you understand what I'm saying here. Will you? I'm asking the question why the minister would have alluded to the fact that 2,300 teachers will be going on vacation leave. A matter of fact, let me see if I can put it in a different way or to get it. I also believe she said that it's not just the vacation leave, but there are some will be going on maternity leave, study leave, and things like that. But how the impact, how would the resignation of teachers impact those who are going on leave? Because the fact that teachers will be going on leave, it is the minister's responsibility to replace those teachers. Yes, that's a part of it. But the question I'm asking again, these are all questions. Can we find in Jamaica 2,300 teachers to replace those who are going on leave? Can we find that? This led me to some information now that I'll have to do a serious research. And here the research now or the survey. I will take the time throughout the course of next week to get some information from the teachers' colleges in Jamaica to see how many teachers have graduated from the colleges or their institutions. How many of these teachers who have finished third or fourth year and are eligible, are qualified to teach? And if we are unable to find those 2,300 teachers to replace the ones going on leave, we will have another problem. And so it means we have a bigger problem to replace the 287 teachers who have resigned. Somebody said to me today, that most persons he heard speaking about teacher resigning and migration, they are actually talking about the teachers in the secondary schools. Very few people making mention of those in the primary schools. And for those who don't know, the primary school teachers are going in very large numbers, very, very large numbers. There are schools that will be losing over 40% of their staff, their teachers. There are primary schools will be losing over 40% of their teachers' people. And I am not hearing people making mention of the primary schools. I'm not hearing that. When I look at what's happening and the news, the mainstream media, excuse me, mainstream media over time has been carrying persons to speak about teacher migration and resignations. And the persons who they have carried are those who are more so in the secondary education system. So I'm hoping that the minister would have gotten the chance to tabulate, to differentiate, and to compare the number of teachers leaving the primary system as opposed to those leaving from the secondary system. As a teacher who have taught in both systems, the primary and the secondary system, as a manager too, who have managed in both systems, it made just a bit easier, people. It made just a bit easier to fix the shortage of teacher in a secondary system than those of the primary system. And this is my reason behind that. This is my reason. In the secondary, we have looked at subject teaching. Yes? Specialist subject teaching, where a teacher would have moved from class to class. As opposed to that in the primary system, where one teacher teaches all the subjects and one class. So if there's a class teacher that is missing, there's about 7 or 8 subjects teachers missing right there. As opposed to the secondaries. And for those who have different views, not a problem, you can share it. But in the secondary school, let's say a math teacher is missing. There's a math department with a number of teachers, I suppose. And those classes maybe could be shared until such a replacement. But if you don't get a replacement in the primary school, there's one class without a teacher. And then that school will have to operate like a multi-grade school, just like my school. I bet many of us, or many of you watching now, cannot differentiate a multi-grade from a single grade school. Or should I say multi versus mono? The fact I'm saying now, what I'm actually alluding to people is the fact that not really want to compare to say which has or which set of schools were more impacted by the migration. What I really want to get at is that let's look right across the board. Let's look across the board. So then, if you really want to believe that we are having, I will be losing 287 teachers. The minister never wrong though. With the timing, as she said, it is from January to June. But we are in July now. Today is what, the 4th, the 5th of July. Do you think the minister has made this pronouncement 1 month early? I think it is 1 month too early to make this pronouncement. But then you can imagine the pressure that she was under to deliver such an information. It's a school of thought that she was pressured into making an announcement. She has to. The stakeholders are calling for it. But just like some other system, just like some other ministry, even in the parliament, we have seen there withhold table bill, withhold a bill to the table. I think the best thing she should have done is to withhold this. Because come next month, people, at the end of July, she will have to come back to the people. She will have to come back and explain, look, while we had 287 rather, at the end of June, at the end of July, we have gone to 380. Oh my God, Devoni, where are you? People, please hit the like button. Hit the like button because we need this. You saw the question? Now, there is a situation that everyone need to know about. And the situation is this aspect of teacher migration, the exodus as many call it, has been foreseen, has been forecast. Yes? Many Jamaicans have been saying this will happen. And they have been saying it from last year, that this year will be the worst. And one of the things, people, that I believe would have sent the number high this year, yes, as a result of the latest compensation review. These are words, these are things that many persons would have alluded to. Yes, many persons would have said that they'll be leaving because they are not satisfied with how they have been dealt with. Oh my God. Saskia McDermott. Good night. Good night. Good night, my counselor. This is our protest. Are you saying the teachers in Jamaica are protesting and they are not taking to the streets? They are not making a noise? They are leaving the shores of Jamaica. What a protest. What a process. Protest, rather. But, Saskia, why are we protesting this way, though? Because I believe if you're protesting, you're expecting to get a favorable reaction. Or this protest is one that is a threat and not a warning. This protest is a strong action. Am I to believe that this protest is one that will aid those teachers who are coming into the system to say, this is what we need to do if we have not been dealt with fairly? I've heard many persons, saying that this year will be the exodus. And I'm saying I am not sure, but there are teachers still making references that today they're unable to tabulate their salary. There are some teachers, when they look at the increase that they have gotten, it basically gone back to where they are. Why? Because the status of how we live, yes, the impact of the economy is very bad. I am not in a position really to dive into the economic status of the country, because I depended on the technocrats, yes, to deal with that part of it. So whatever they provide to us, I think it is fair for us to just try and negotiate for ourselves if what they are saying or what they have provided is decent. That's all. And why I'm saying this, why I'm saying this is that we talk about inflation. What do we mean? How do we compare, right? How do we compare yesteryear from this year as it relates to inflation? For those persons like Don Anderson, the pollsters are the researchers in this country. And by the way, I love research. And I would love to do some more qualitative research. Qualitative in the sense that we need the real information. Yes? And saying that to say, every time you hear about the economy, I may be going all into everything, people, but I really have to bring it across when the vibes come. When the thought is there, I just have to put it out. But when I hear, people like the Minister of Finance, yes, speak about the economy, and then hear about the different sectors that have been growing, is it that the education sector does not impact the economy? Is it that the education sector have not grown to assist the growth of the economy? That's what if you understand what I'm saying? Bless up yourself, blessings. Ishka, did you really get an increase or just enough to stay alive? You tell me, Ishka. Yes, man. Let us face it. We got an increase. Whether it is for us to stay alive, yes or no, but we get an increase. The sad part about the increase, as I'm saying, the increase you got have not assist you in a way to make life much better. That's what I'm saying. I can't believe in today. And Ishka, you throw me out of my thought now, but I have to get on to what you're saying. I really can't believe that people, we teachers, who have gotten a substantial increase, never in the history, like what the minister said. People getting these double digits percentage increase. But you still teachers still hunting the financial agencies, the financial groups to get loans after 3 months of increase and retroactive money. Are you so right? Increase deflating the inflation as purple crime. You see, and that's what I am saying. I had a conversations with some persons today, and trust me, I have to explain how my increase comes. This may take another shoulder, this whole topic of the increase again. But I decided that I will not zoom into it yet because there's still some things untouched. For example, the last time we met, the last time we heard, the Ministry of Finance and Education would have met with the JTA after the Ministry of Labour stepped in. But I must say personally, I have not gotten any information of how those talks went. So I'm not going further into it. I don't know. But if there's somebody who have information, you can share it. All right, my brethren Lucas, bit up yourself. Don't know. So let's go back to the issue of the resignation again. Because that's our main topic. Yes? That's our main topic. 287 teachers plus 2,300 teachers. That means for this calendar year, or should I say, yeah, hold on, let me bring it up. Let me bring it up. For the last term, our last two terms of the school year, going into the first term of the next school year, we will have to replace 2,587 teachers. As we speak, I have asked the question, is Jamaica prepared? Are we in a position to replace those teachers? Can the teachers' colleges provide the number of teachers to replace the 2,800 or should I say the 2,587? Let me get the figures right. Ishka is saying, in my opinion, this migration of teachers is all about surviving. Listen to me, and I'm going to say this without any apology. You know. Teachers, Ishka, if you're saying that, well, you say it's in your opinion, but if it's that opinion, if you just want to survive for migrating just for survive, no man, I think that's not the right choice. That's not the right choice, Ishka. That's not the right choice. If I am migrating, I would love to make it big. Like at least 3, 4, 5 times. Or should I say at least 4 times from what I'm earning or living on now. Not just to survive. So I take it a step further than you, Ishka. Not to survive, but to make it big. And Saskia said the final year students will walk right into a job. Wow. Wow. That's a good thing, you know. That's a good thing. But I'll bet you though, I can bet you, Saskia, that 40 or 50% of those teachers will not walk into a job September. Right now, I want to do a survey, but based on some information I gathered recently, that many of these final year students are already gone to the US on the work and study program. And information too, the information I gathered too, many of those who have left already have no plans, no intention of returning. I wonder if I'm talking too much. I hope my views are not affecting those persons. So you agree with me, Ishka? I know you will agree, man. We have to step up a notch. We can't just look to survive this time around. The other point I want to mention, are we talking about 2,587 position to be filled. 2,300 of these positions will be paid double. Hmm? They will be paid double. Why? The persons on leave will have to be paid, and the teachers replacing them will also be paid. So it's not just A simple situation. But yet still, the minister and the Ministry of Education seems to be comfortable with that. They have the solutions. So there should be no panic. And let me tell you this, minister, let me tell you, Jamaica, I am almost at the stage of panic now. And that's why I'm here tonight. I am not here to get anybody else panic. But we want to find a way out. We want to zoom in. Saskia, you're saying pre-train. Oh my God. Let me tell you one other thing you mentioned pre-train. Let me tell you one other thing is. I've gone to a teacher's college in search of final year students. Yes? And final year students, no, not final year students, they are not September final year students, are graduates, no. And I'm surprised based on some information I gathered. I'm not going to say the numbers tonight because there's a confidence in this information gathered. But the numbers that I got would have shown me that 62%, listen, 62% of those persons who I have contacted and the college contacted have no interest in teaching September. They have no interest. A matter of fact, I have made it even difficult for myself, I have made it difficult for myself and for my school. It's really an unfortunate situation. And it's unfortunate because I am asked and I am seeking a male teacher. Why am I seeking a male teacher, people? Why is that I'm seeking a male teacher? I realize that the boys need role models. Yes, they do need role models. Presently, if you check it out, a number of boys are fathered by their mothers. And because that is the situation, we can't have no father at home and no father at school. Or one father. You know what happened when you need one father at home, you probably need three at schools. In the schools, you probably need three fathers. All right? Ishka, can you assist me? This text missed me. Why is that? Why is that? Which question are you alluding to? Our statement. Help me out on that one. So the college, the information that I gathered, they were unable to provide me with one name for the primary system. They're unable to give me one male teacher name. One male teacher contact so I could say, hey, I have a job for you. What is that saying? And you're saying to me that I must not panic? I have enough experience. I have enough information to arm myself with these situation or within this situation. But guess what? Not everything theoretically works. Oh, so you're saying why aren't the graduates not interested? Let me tell you, Mr. Francis, and this is why I have so many difficulties getting on tonight. And I tried my very best to get, and we started late, but I am happy. Let me tell you what happened. The graduates, they have been traveling maybe 3 out of the 4 years they have been in college, right? Work and study program. They have seen a better life overseas. Let me tell you that. They have seen a better life overseas. And even though many of those teachers are seeking job outside of the classrooms here in Jamaica. Yes. So these are reasons why they are not interested. They are looking on that they are not really in a position to fund their lives if they just become a teacher. What I will say to them though, it is better off now for a young teacher. A young teacher entering the system, they may be better off than I am. Little or no issues, little or no responsibilities. Trust me. But is this a Caribbean problem? Bahamas, yes, Trinidad and Tobago, Dominica, St. Lucia teachers need to view. You see, Bahamas are recruiting teachers too. Bahamas are recruiting teachers. St. Lucia, in recent time, have recruited teachers from Jamaica. I am not sure about Trinidad and Tobago, and I can't speak about the Dominica. Cayman is also recruiting teachers. So why can't we recruit teachers? Why can't we in Jamaica recruit teachers as well? I have a view of recruiting teachers now. I will not say it because it may be too early, yes, in this part to do that. But Jamaica, Ishka, RR, Saskia, yes, Lucas, Devon. Mhm. This is one thing I was going to ask again. And also, Lorraine, if you're still here. The impact, the real impact of teacher migration, the real impact of teacher migration, who suffers more? Yes? Is it the government of Jamaica? Is it the teachers? Or is it the students? Food of thought are the parents. Will the parents suffer as well? There's one principal said to me earlier this week that parents were saying to them that if certain teachers leave the school, they will be withdrawing their student from that school. I laughed just like what I talked a while ago. But why is that so? Will that make any sense? Tell me. Because you'll be withdrawing your child or your student from that school A, and when you go to school B, you can't find teacher to teach them because they have already gone as well. But I do understand the parents' view. When a teacher goes into a school and a community and make an impact, a positive impact, and not just the children, but the community, Yes, it's very difficult. Very, very difficult. But people, where will we go? Who are the most vulnerable in this situation? But then, I don't want for one reason. Not anyone would have thought or believe that I'm against those who resigned and those who migrated. A matter of fact, truth be told, congratulations. It's congratulations to you all. Why? I think it's a step in an upward mobility. You have applied to a position, you have given an opportunity to be interviewed, and you have been successful. That is growth, that is development. So, from an individualistic personality or person, kudos to you. What I will say to you, just remember Jamaica land we love. Share with your colleagues the good practices that you will be engaging. Share with us here, man. Help us to be better teachers, help us to be better managers. But is that enough? Is that enough? That's all I'll ask. Though. That's all I will ask for you to share with us. Share with me. But, you know, let me hear this now. They compare when they increase the MP salary. I would encourage teachers use up them carry come passport, move on to greener grass. What I think I'm not sure, and maybe you have the expertise, the experience around CARICOM, but do we have a lot of opportunities in CARICOM? Hmm? Traveling to a country in the Caribbean, if we should, all of us have Caribbean, have CARICOM passport now, but guess what? When you go to different CARICOM countries, the interrogation that I am told that you undergo, but yet still, we should be free to travel in and around the CARICOM countries. But again, can we continue to tell our teachers to try other countries, to go out and to seek opportunities? Can we at this time, going forward, in a serious way, ask our leaders, ask our leaders to be fair with the teachers, ask our leaders to elevate our teachers, ask our leaders to elevate our teachers. One thing I'm pretty sure though, one thing I'm pretty sure, school must continue. Let me say, school must continue. So I say to the teachers who are left behind, and well, not just left behind, who have decided to stay, let us continue to pray for better. For those who are leaving, pray for those who are still here. All of us can't go, you know. This is, this is not like the earth that will take in all of us. Blessings, Leo. Blessings to you and your family to us. Or the maintaining of the school buildings and property. It's just today, just today, I was speaking to a colleague of mine and we decided to do a survey to look at the teaching and learning conditions of our schools. So yes, we'll be looking at the school plants, the condition of the classrooms, the different buildings, canteen, tuck shops, library, computer labs, um, whiteboards, gadgets, whatever. But this is a very good question that you asked, How the maintaining of the school buildings and property? Are there any other teacher inside there who want to respond? Because this question is $1 million question. And you will, if teachers here would like to respond to you, you'll be surprised to get the different answers, the different tones. Yes, the different way they look at buildings and property. But sad to say that there are schools right now in Jamaica that the buildings are very poor. The properties are not secured.
It's 10 o'clock.
There are schools presently in Jamaica that the teaching and learning condition is unacceptable. It is unacceptable not because the Ministry of Education doesn't put enough in it. Not that. But the word maintenance or maintaining is very, very important in this. And I must say to you people, for all that we are saying, maintenance in schools, every school plan should have a maintenance manager, separate and apart from the principal or the bursar. Yes. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Most people in Jamaica, whether they're rich or you're poor, especially the poor people like myself, every single year, more so Christmas time, we want to paint our houses. We want to paint our rooms. We want to paint the kitchen, not to mention outside. And some of us just don't repaint it, we change the color. Why? Because we want to be comfortable. That is the reason why we do such thing. We want to change our facets in our bathrooms and kitchens. Even the doors, sometimes we want to change. The windows, we want to improve on. Our electronic system in our house, we want to change. Almost every single individual now dreaming to put surveillance camera on their houses for security reasons. Why can't we look at dealing with our schools like that? Classrooms, different rooms that students and teachers spend the entire day in. For months, 10 months per year. Yes? Tell me. But maintenance is underfunded. Maintenance is underfunded in RR. Wow. RR. I wonder if Sonic Crest Show can make tour. Environment affects the teachers and pupils, but teachers make it happen daily. You know? I must say, the, the powers that be, the powers that be can relax every single year after year. Mhm. Because when you have a classroom, a large classroom that is parted into using chalkboards, yes, mobile chalkboards, you know those chalkboards, and within those classrooms together, sometimes you have 80 students, 90 students in that classroom. So you'll have 40 or 45 students to each one classroom each, and that is just parted by a classroom. And you can imagine a teacher having a very good class and the students laugh and they shout and they participate. You can imagine a teacher doing a role play and the teachers are, the students are up in it, enjoying themselves, participating, they're getting what they're supposed to get, they're learning, they're participating to the fullest. Some people laugh, some, you can just imagine the noise level. But yet still, at the end of the year, at the end of the day, these students have done well. Yes, the students doing so well. Tell me, no, RR and teachers, if you are able to teach satisfactory, successfully in that environment, what you need a better environment for? Tell me. Because that's the question I would ask my teacher. You are getting 100% pass with high grades, with 87 plus, all A's in a noisy classroom. Is that a problem? That's a problem that needs to be fixed. So maybe that's why the powers that be would have said, you're doing well, yes, you're a magician, so continue to work your magics. But people, on the flip side of it, we know, yes, that if that is the case, we'll be able to get a 90% pass. We'll be able to get distinctions if we get the better or the best environment to which we should teach and our students would learn. That's all I'm saying. Imagine the upgrade that would be crime solutions. I'm talking about crime solutions, trust me, it's that's something now that word, that crime thing, you put me in a different forum. I can't discuss crime tonight. But listen, it's an headache. And you mentioned crime, and there are some things that just come into my mind. And it goes back to the violence, crime and violence against our students, our children. Terrible. So let's not go there right now. It is a crime solution, of course, and let me zoom that in. Let me put it this way and not go into crime. Crime solution, if our education system is fixed, I bet every single one in here tonight that our crime rate will be very, very low to zero. Listen, me know we can't stop crime in our people. I mean, I fool myself. I mean, I try to fool the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Education, or the Minister of Justice, or the Minister of Security, or the Prime Minister. I mean, I try to fool them. You know why we can't stop crime? Because we have wicked people. Wicked, wicked people. And because you have wicked people, generally, everywhere, you can't stop crime. But what we can do is to reduce crime situation by educating our people. Some people look at educating, we say educating our people because we are going to school. But even when education free, that's not educating our people. Educating our people, in my opinion, is to teach our people right and wrong. Yes, we need to get back to values and attitude. You remember that values and attitude campaign? Persons or children need to learn the moment they come on earth, they need to learn these things. Research have shown that many of those persons who are crime feeders or crime related people, let me put it this way, persons involved in crime, have not gone to Sabbath or Sunday school. There's a research on that. And there's so much in Sabbath and Sunday school that they would have taught us values and attitudes. So that is clearly missing. Today in schools, we are forced to deal with certain situation. You look at how we conduct devotion these days. You look at how we have to deal with, persons from a different background. You cannot force and you should not force anyone to worship in a particular way. But what I believe in though, what I totally believe in, people need to worship. Yes, worship together, pray together. And when I say pray together, I don't necessarily mean that everybody have to kneel together and pray. We have to have a heading for prayer. Yes, a heading for worship. So when I go to devotion, I'm thinking that everyone here should be worshiping so that we can be a better person, so that we can do better in math, better in language. And I'm talking from the school perspective now. That's the way we will learn. That's the way our youngsters will be able to learn these things. That's one way. Again, people, please remember to hit the like button. That's it. And for those who are watching, you are watching. I'm sure the fact that you are here, the fact that you are watching this article show, you have an interest. You will not be able to participate unless you're subscribed. Maybe you just want to stay in dark in the back seat. But please subscribe, like and share to this article show. Just like and share to this article show. Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the end of the show. Well, let's just zoom into a few solutions. Let's look at a few solutions that have been proposed by the Ministry of Education. So there are some ways that we believe that we can replace these 2,587 teachers. One, yes, we are looking at pairing the classes that are smaller. So the multi-grade system is coming back alive. Mhm. The multi-grade system is coming back alive if you are to pair the smaller classes. But I want to say this to many principals, teachers, parents, well wishers, ministers, education officers. For you to be effective in a multi-grade system, you have to learn the multi-grade system. You have to commit yourself to the multi-grade system. You'll have to preach, teach, eat, and drink differentiation. Key factor in multi-grade system. So if that is the way, you'll have to now develop the capacity of our teachers, the capacity of our schools, in an effort so the teachers can develop the capacity of the students to learn in a multi-grade scenario. So for that point, there's a lot of work to be done. We can't just force these things on teachers because there's an ineffectiveness of the system. That's my point. The second solution that I am heard of is that to employ retired teachers, those who have retired since 2018. I'm going to set this clear. Many of those persons who retired wanted to go 10 years ago, 10 years before retirement, because of the stress level that it's facing in the classrooms. There are some could not continue to deal with the students we have today. The indiscipline of our students, yes, the indiscipline of our parents, the indiscipline of some community members. Yes, those are issues that people wanted to take early retirement. Some of those teachers who retired can't manage the system right now, people. I'm telling you. But they are the seniors, they have the experience. Let's see how that will work. Again, will you be able to pay the teachers, those retired teachers, while they're getting their pensions? Are you going back to the locum tenant thing? The locum tenant, where a teacher works for another teacher in a different school or in a different subject area who is out of everyday work. Now, my passionate part about solution. I believe the best way right now, Minister and the government of Jamaica, principals, we need to find the teachers who are now leaving colleges. I started, but it's a very difficult one. From last year, the Ministry of Education, including the Ministry of Finance, should have gone into the teachers' colleges and to offer these teachers incentives to take a post for this year. Yes, that's where it should have been. And for those who already made up their minds to go on the work and travel program, they would have looking back because there's an incentive when they return. And then you'll find at school A, school B, and school C fighting for that one teacher. This is the situation will happen. And as the earlier Saskia mentioned about pre-train, going back to pre-train teachers, not a problem to me. As long as the person have the capacity, the capability, the knowledge to teach, as long as the person have the know-how to maneuver the classroom, to create an environment that is conducive to learning. And with that said, I will say to our board chairman and our principals, please do due diligence. When you're employing right now, I'm not telling you that you should forget about the experience part for an applicant, but don't hold strong on that because we need also to give the teachers the opportunity to gain that experience. And I say that to say because when I did leave college, you see, but the only experience I had was teaching practice. What if I never get the job or that job? What if they continue to ask people 4, 5, and 3 years experience? Where will gain it? Tell me. So, Mr. Lee, good night, and that. Good night, Mr. Lee. So, within that scope, principals, teachers, all stakeholders, let us bear in mind that we ought to give some of these young teachers the opportunity to gain the experience. Well, based on your situation, you may not have to even think about that. You may just have to hold on to what you get. But no, we have to look at it. So those solutions that we mentioned, again, I will continue to ask, are we in a position to employ, or are we in a position to find those teachers? That's the situation. Is Jamaica in a position to fill the position of 2,587 teachers? That is it. Because if you don't have that, you won't be able to fill that position. Just a minute. All right. System just ran out of charge. Yes, so back to the point now. Are these teachers' colleges again be able to turn out over 2,500 teachers? That's a question that we have to ask. So I hope the minister and the power that be would have looked into that situation, would have done their own research before we embarked on such a solution. Have we at any time reached out to our retired teachers? Yes. Have we made any special arrangements? Have we given them any tokens, any appreciation of their job that they have done over the 30 years after their retirement. Because that will be difficult to them. If you have never show that level of appreciation. I mean, a teacher who have retired now for 5 years and have not gotten not even a letter or a text to say thank you for your years of service. I know you want to pull them back to the classroom where you fall short. So these are the things that you have to look into. These are the situations that we have at our hand. These are some solutions that not just will just pop up. Are these persons you believe will just accept such a responsibility? Listen. Hey, let me have to tell you the right name because I cannot pronounce that name, sir. I cannot pronounce your name. So Lucas, they need to make the profession more attractive financially. This has been a serious statement to that. For many years, people have been saying that. But when you look or listen to the finance minister recently, the reasons for these hiking payment for parliamentarian, because they're trying to attract qualified people in politics. So then we might have to look into that. We have to attract the qualified and experienced persons in the classroom. Mhm. So talking about making that attractive, we have just gone through a compensation review, my boss, and it doesn't seem any farm, any attract. Well, based on the comments, based on the teachers who have been, giving all of these thoughts, based on the teachers who are having issues with their salary, it doesn't seem like there is any percentage of attraction in this compensation review for many, if not most teachers. So you're saying that just like how they are increasing their pay to keep the ministers interested, they need to do the same for teachers. Well, I don't think that they have that interest. I don't think so. Teachers are at the back end, I can tell you that much. And if they wanted to do that, that would have done long time ago. But there's a school of thought. Those who are poor shall remain poor. And of course, the rich should get richer. But what better way to get riches than through education? The money will come. But if we have not been showing persons that level of interest, that level of, um, what did I say now, compassion, yes? Are you gonna ask teachers to pick out and to hold straight? No, that will never happen. And so what I will say to you tonight, this time our students, our education sector will suffer. We will suffer because we're losing too many, too many of our experienced teachers. It has been a very difficult road. And when I say that, I'm not saying that inexperienced teachers can't make the grade. That's not what I am saying. But when you have developed some systems, some protocols, some policies within a school with a number of these teachers, and to say they just go. You can imagine over the past year, you have put some teams together. Teachers have their different roles and responsibilities outside of the regular teaching and learning. You have developed the capacity of these teachers. The teachers have, found a little way to, just bob and weave through the rough times. But to see you lose 40% of your staff in the blink of an eye, how will you fix that? Now you have to get new persons involved, and you have to retrain these persons. You have to build all those capacities. You have to do everything all over again. Well, some will say it's an evolving world, so take it on. Is this migration an evolving world as well? Is it something that we should embrace because we are living in an evolving world? Hmm? Tell me. No, not accepting that. But I will say to the Minister of Education tonight, reach out, madam, reach out to your principals, reach out to your teachers. Yes, and see how best you can send the very comforting messages. And Minister, let me say this. These press conferences that you're having, do you think it has an impact on the teachers? I think you need to find a way to reach out to the teachers, Minister. In this sector, there are too many times that information has been passed to the wider public before those who are involved. Yes, that's what I am saying. So these press conferences, and you're doing your press conferences when teachers are unable to log on to their TVs because they're in classes. These are some of the things that I observe that we need to fix. I think these press conferences should have geared towards the stakeholders in the education system. Yes, the public is a stakeholder, but the main stakeholders in the education system, the main stakeholders are left out of the initial. They are left out of many of the initial planning, and they are left out of the relaying of information. So, Minister, what I am simply saying to you is if you get more contact with us, yes, on a personal basis, show more empathy. Because when you go up there, you're talking to the media, and then at 7 o'clock we come and watch news where I see them. We never know it will happen. It will be a difference, Minister, if you reach out and have some QEC meetings, Minister. And remember, you don't have to present yourself at all the QECs because that would have been impossible. And if you break it down to a regional thing, that would have been even better. You have 7 regions. And you could have 7 meetings with 7 regions. Or at least to the press conferences, send a YouTube, a Facebook, or a Meet link that the teachers while at school can join. Personally, These are things that I think will change and can affect the effectiveness of us, of the education system. Believe it or not, teachers want to be a part of the system. They just don't want to be in the system. So you're saying that this will happen in the schools come next year, but the teachers don't know about it. Am I to fully understand that when you have done your press conferences, then we will get the different information through emails? Minister, we're appreciative of you. We appreciate of the Ministry of Education, but I think much more needed to be done. It's not a situation that we want to say you need to do it. We can't tell you how to operate. But we can suggest. I am suggesting that some things that you may do, and remember, you need a listening ear on the ground, Minister. You need a listening ear on the ground. The schools, especially in the rural areas, the teachers in the rural areas, we are suffering. We are suffering because we have been making blood out of water and bread out of stone. You said that we are miracle workers, but how long can we work these miracles, Minister? A part of the education system that to date I am unable to understand why is it that our schools are still without proper internet services. Listen, again, maybe that's another topic that we have to look at. But I'm going to leave that as a message. The internet services that the Ministry of Education, or more so the government, has provided for schools, for some schools, it's woefully inadequate. And I'm going to beat it. I'm going to beat down on it. I am beating down on it because I have given up flow. While flow was poor and every day we have an issue, this one is far worse than flow. Maybe some persons are experiencing a better internet service from that source. Maybe it's the environment to which we are. Maybe it's our location. But Minister, if you have never heard that before, we're having issues. We're having issues. So people, let's look at the whole issue now of the status of the education system. And we have just about 10 or so minutes to go to the end of the show. So let's conclude. So while we will suffer in the loss of these teachers, yes, the school year has now come to an end. The primary school, or the primary exit profile, PEP, has concluded for all grades 4 and 5. The grade 6 completed, and now we have seen the results. Again, based on the minister's pronouncement in her press conference, that the results are the students has performed better than last year. I can allude to that. On an average, from my own experience and what my people, my school, most of our students would have gotten their first and second choices. But that's not my concern, and that's not what I really proud of. And that's not what I'm really proud of for them to get their choice of school. What I am proud of is that I don't have not even one student this year at the beginning stage. So my students have seen, or I have seen my students developing, proficient. These are the status. Highly proficient. These are what I want to see. Not for them to get first or second choice. Because if the group of students who select school B gets under a particular grade, they will get their school of choice. But we want to see them in the proficient and highly proficient band. While last year, I've seen students in the beginning stage. But this year, I'm not seeing a lot of students in the highly proficient stages. So we have lost one way and pick up the other way. Again, kudos to our grade 6 teachers, or grade 5 and 4 teachers. Big respect. Respect. Many thanks to you. Respect to the parents who continue to work hard with their students. And I will use this opportunity, yes, to say thanks to all the stakeholders. But where do we go from here? 6 seasons completed. The City and Guilds and the Hartress NTAs are still going on. So the secondary school students, those from grade 11, 12, and 13, are awaiting their results, their external exam results. We'll just have to wait. Just have to wait. So then, it's just a matter of time for us to conclude the school year to see if this year was much better than last year on a school wide, a regional wide, or a countrywide basis. You know, what if, just what if, that we need an increase in the budget for education? Will we be able to get that increase based on what's happening now, Minister? $30 billion to pay teachers who both on leave and replacement teachers. And then we have to look at paying some other persons, the retired teachers, to pay them their retirement and also their teaching salary. Will there be a supplementary budget to offset these expenses throughout the next school year? Ladies and gentlemen, sorry, Chris, I have too many questions tonight. And because I'm without a guest, a technocrat, we'll have to come back to you next week with these answers. More so, more so, people. Please hit the like button. I've seen 8 people still on the chat and we only have 4 likes. Come on, people, hit the like button right away. Subscribe and please share the content. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I say goodnight to you. This is where we take a break from the studio. So let me bid you. So Lucas, Mr. Lee, RR, yes, let me say thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for staying with us. Leo Face, Ishka, big up yourself. Saskia, we also want to big up the one they call Devoni. Yes, it's Chambers. Big up yourself, Devoni. Big up yourself also to the lady Noreen Thompson. Every one of you, for those who are listening who have not participated in the chat, thank you very much. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. I do appreciate your support. So subscribe, like, and share to the Sardicus Show. Good night, and have yourselves a wonderful rest of night and for tomorrow. Please join me Friday where we bring to you sports, another episode that you can't afford to miss. Again, good night.